Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where I break down all the goals scored in the Premier League, using my vast experience of doing many things in the old coachy world and doing lots of stuff around the football. I give you a proper insight and actually teach you what's going on so you can actually learn, other than these ex-pros who are generally morons and don't know anything about the football. So today we're actually talking about Arsenal and the old Tottenham Hotspurs. Spurs are at home being Spursy. Arsenal, actually, there's a couple of interesting decisions I'm going to cover here because I think there's a shout for a penalty and a shout for the Arsenal goal not being allowed. And this is the problem I have with VAR. One of the many problems I have with VAR. It's like, okay, is there a foul in the build-up to the play? Yes. But so when do you call that a foul? At the point when they lose the ball? So we'll cover that anyway and see what you think. But let's cover the first goal. Right here, this is, the goal goes in. It's I do believe it ends up being a Spursy own goal. Goes in right here from this front post. This is unacceptable. Pretty much Spurs are doing a good job trying to block out the box, but the only area that they don't block out is the front post. They have almost three people back here, no one in this area here, and they end up getting their own head on it and knocking it in here. I'm not quite happy with the amount of empty space they leave everywhere else, but on this front post, it's not acceptable. And one thing I want is this player's reaction here. You can see how upset he is. He's just showing it. How did you let that go in on the front post? Not only to the keeper, to the defender as well. And overall, there's a lot of bad defending here by Spursy, right? This is why. For some reason, you've got 1, 2, 3 players that are on the wrong side. They're on the wrong side. They're not goal side of. Every single one of these Spursy players needs to be back on the other side of him and be goal side. None of them are. That's why he ends up conceding an own goal. He's not from this position running out. He's actually running towards his own goal. If you didn't know who was playing who and how this was going, you'd probably think Arsenal were the defending side and Spurs were the attacking side. That's how bad that is. But yeah, that's Spursy. Let's get on to the next goal. So this is a questionable Spursy goal. They get the goal and it's ruled off for offside, VAR, blah, blah, blah. I'm not really interested in VAR offside decisions because it's so subjectical. I can't even say the word. I don't even know that is a word. So when the point of the ball, the ball leaves the guy's foot, where's the next point of contact? Blah, blah, blah. Is it when it comes off that defender or is it when he plays the ball? What are they using it by? I'll have a little look at that and see if I can find out next. But the ball comes off an Arsenal player right here. Watch this. Dunk. And if it comes off an Arsenal player, this is where the rules get really, really hazy. He can't be offside, but that's not the actual rule. Now, or is it? Because it's always been under my impression that the rule was, did he intentionally pass the ball? If he's intentionally passed it from the Arsenal player, the Spurs player can't be offside and he can score that goal. But then it was changed and they added, some like weird wordage and verbiage just to try to make it more complicated so they can lie. That's what I normally say when they change rules. They make it more complicated so they can lie. Now, I'm not sure what it is here in this scenario, but this is the problem when you have things with VAR and things aren't crystal clear. And I believe they do it on purpose just to make everything whichever way they want or whichever decision they want based on what team they want. See, look, and this is the problem you've got. Is he offside when the ball's played? It's not when the ball's played by the player. It's when the ball's ricocheted off the defender. And this is where it all goes and breaks down because it's all rubbish. And then they just make up the rules as they go along. Yeah, it's when the ball comes off the player because it was the last person to touch the touch the ball. So that's when he's offside. If that's not the case, why are you showing it here? Is that the exact moment the ball left his foot? Or did his foot travel a couple of a more millisecond to keep him onside? And this is where you have this huge breakdown in VAR. It's total rubbish. Let's get on to the next goal. Okay, so this is the start of the Arsenal goal. And honestly, I think this is probably a foul, maybe a penalty here that starts on, but he carries on playing the ball. Let's watch. Takes him, has a little knock, he stumbles, and he ends up falling over. I'm going to show you from the reverse angle at the end, but it results in he carries on playing. He pokes it to a Spursy player. Look, he's asking for a pen. Pokes it to a Spursy player. He's received it. Tries to do something with it. They end up losing the ball. And he takes a dive on the ground, which I think is absolutely unacceptable. Now, the problem, I think, is they're not giving the other foul because this guy's clearly dived and he's looking for a pen, which it's not. It's not even close. He's just joking around on the floor like a clown, and his team ends up conceding because he doesn't play football properly. Play the game properly, mate. Stay on your feet, and you've probably got a chance of getting the actual penalty, and the ref's not thinking you're having a laugh. So yeah, let's move this on. So Saka passes the ball out wide. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Arsenal players. I think this is Timo Werner here, actually. And he should be spotting this because he's got the pace to keep up with Saka, right? As this goes out wide, they're trying to figure out what to do. They're kind of arguing over the ball, having a bit of a sort of a blunder. Blah, do I pass it to you? I'm going to make a run. Look, they're next to each other. He's carried on running. Everyone else is ball watching. You should have been tracking this player here, mate. You should be going straight with him. So should he, but they're not. They're ball watching just a little. Now look at the gap between these two players. Look at the gap between them now. Look at the gap there. All the time and space in the world. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players getting all sucked over to the one side, and no one is paying attention to maybe Arsenal's fastest player in the space on the right-hand side, which is shocking. They're all ball watching. Why are you both gone over there? You don't need two of you to mark the same player, but yet they do it anyway. He's so far ahead now you can't even see Timo Werner on the same, on the same screen. That's how far ahead he is. Now that's what makes really good players, is because they carry on tracking back all the way and they do that job anywhere. Yeah, but coach, I'm a left forward and I don't have to play left back. Yeah, you do. When your left back's gone for a Maisie, when your team was attacking and your shape isn't right, you have to come back and do all the jobs that anyone else can't do. And that's what he should be doing. Now, by the time he's received the ball, you can see the actual distance and the speed where those players that were close to him are nowhere to be seen. He's still got a lot of work to do, mind. Gets inside the box, beats a little player 1v1 and slots it into the net box. Overall, though, would he have scored? Oh, look, here's Timo. I think that's Timo Werner. Oh, look, here they are, finally coming into frame. Yeah, if they'd run with him, just like I might have beaten them, something might have happened, but at least they would have been there or trying to challenge for the ball. Not working hard is just not good enough. Not at this level. Staying in your own half on a break and not all running back together is just showing lack of commitment and lack of effort of your players. Not good enough. So here's the foul, which is a foul. He nicks him right here. That's where he catches him. Watch, donk. He clips his heels together, and that's the foul going over there. So this is, again, my problem with VAR. That's a foul. Should it be a penalty? Now, in a normal game, you go, oh, the ref just missed it. Yeah, it might have been a foul, might have been a penalty, and we'll all argue about it. Absolutely fine with that. Here's the problem with VAR. If the referee has missed that, which is a clear and obvious error, is it a penalty and do we chalk off the Arsenal goal? Well, yeah, by the letter of the law. That's what should have happened, because that's a foul in the build-up to play. And unfortunately, the foul is inside the box. So this is the problem with VAR, in my opinion. It just opens up a can of worms and all this rubbish that doesn't happen, should happen, or shouldn't happen. Instead of just going, the ref made a mistake, he's not good enough. All right, fine. We end up talking about VAR far too much instead of the rivalry between Spurs and Arsenal, or how good this player's playing. Everyone just goes, VAR ruined it, not interested. And more people I've seen, listen to, are just going, VAR ruined it, I'm not interested. Now here's another problem again. Look, 2 hands on the back. Is he pushing him down? Well, we've seen that being called off when people have gone back and taken goals off this season about people having 2 hands on the back and people scoring goals and saying, he's pushing him down. That's a foul. It's not a goal. And this is what I mean about this whole VAR incident again. Ultimately, Spurs haven't really defended this corner properly. You can see, look, he's not even paying attention. He's too busy looking the wrong way. But ultimately, this is why I just want to get rid of VAR altogether, just because this decision has gone one way for some teams and another way for others, and not even been talked about in this scenario. Yeah, get rid of it, scrap it, go to the Arsenal. Arsenal kind of spurs it up a bit and give the Spurs a chance to get back into the game when it goes back to their keeper, Reyes. I'm not really into this Reyes-Ramsdale goalkeeper dilemma. I'm a firm believer you should have 2 number 1 goalkeepers in a team anyway, because you should always have your goalkeeper being scared that he's going to be replaced by somebody else. Why is that the only position on the field that people are worried, like, oh no, you shouldn't do that? Well, every other position on the field is like that. Why shouldn't that be goalkeepers? When I coached, genuinely, I normally had another goalkeeper trying to take my goalkeeper number 1 spot away. But as he's trying to play the ball here, you can see what he does. He trusts in his ability too much. You can see by his body stance, he's trying to chip it just to there. Plonk. That's what he's trying to do. And he just gets it all wrong. So when he goes to play the ball, he sells it short and it goes straight to the player instead. He could have made the easy pass out here. He could have done many other things, but he trusted in his ability. Now, here's the thing with your goalkeeper. You've got to trust him in doing those mistakes if he's good enough. He's not like some of those other goalkeepers that have made 100 mistakes in the season. Probably the only one he's made this season. And the amount of times he's set Arsenal on the front foot by trying to play that pass, you'll take it. You'll go, right, my keeper is going to make 35 passes forward that's going to put us on the front foot, but he's going to give us that 1 goal from a stupid mistake. You're fine with that. However, if it's 2 or 3 goals, you're not having it. 1 goal, you will accept. Romero puts it into the net box. He should have made sound effects. You get 2 goals in the Premier League if you make sound effects when you kick the ball in the goal. Right, let's get on to the next goal. See, again, like the other penalty I was talking about, I should have made it a little bit more clear that still would have been a soft penalty, even though he clipped him, his heels together. It was still a foul. Here, as we come together, Bosch, he's wellied him, but it's still a soft foul. Yeah, it's a pen, but it's still a soft foul. You would let that go sometimes out on the field, but it gives him a pen. Son steps up. Should we go left or right? And he goes to the left, smashes it in. Quality penalty taker. Overall, I think Spurs could have done a little bit better in this game. Arsenal did have them pinned back for a lot of the game, but I think Spurs could have really threatened them if they tried a little bit harder in the first half. Other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.